This month, get a chance to win a $500 full-up grand prize on your Platinum Loyalty card whenever you make a purchase. You deserve convenience. You deserve the benefits loyalty brings. The Cable. Get Platinum. Get more.
In case you don't know us, you're just twisting the dial away and managed to bump into us. This is ZIZ Radio from out of St. Kitts.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of PowerTalk. And welcome to June. Today is the first day of June, so I hope you have a lovely day. PowerTalk is brought to you every first and third Wednesday of each month as we discuss topics that we feel that we need to educate our customers. So welcome. This morning I have Mr. Brown. He will introduce himself briefly and then we'll get into our show. Mr. Brown, tell us about yourself. I know you're an unfamiliar face and we had you the last show, but you're back again.
And thank you for having me back, Ms. Hendrickson. I am Colin Brown, the Control Operation and Protection Manager at SKELEC.
Okay, Mr. Brown. So this morning we have a very interesting topic because it's the first day in June.
The first day in June.
Yes. At SKELEC, our customers is our number one priority. As such, we'll be discussing hurricane preparation. The 2022 Atlantic hurricane season officially begins today, June 1st, and ends on November 30th. According to the Climate Prediction Center at the NOAA, they predict that there is a 70% chance of having 14 to 21 named storms, of which 6 to 10 could develop into hurricanes, including 3 to 6 major hurricanes, category 3 to 5. Some of the names are Alex, Bonnie, Colin, Mr. Bode, Danielle, Gaston, Herman, Ian, and Martin, and many more. So we see this as a very important topic because we want our customers to be as educated as possible, because we want you to be prepared and have the necessary tools and have the necessary knowledge to move about in this hurricane season. So my first question to you, Mr. Brown, why is hurricane preparation important?
Hurricane preparation is very important, both for all of us individually as residents in St. Kitts and Nevis, and in particular for SKELEC as an organization that provides electricity, because hurricanes represent or are the major natural disaster risk. Major natural disaster risk for us here in the Caribbean. Earthquakes are somewhat of a risk, tsunami are somewhat of a risk, but the risks we anticipate having some impact, whether minor or major, each year are hurricanes. And I don't think I need, or all of us are familiar with how much a hurricane can impact our lives and impact the supply of electricity.
That is so true.
So that is why we need to prepare for hurricanes.
All right then. You mentioned that a hurricane is one of our major disasters, and that's so important to mention and highlight because every year we have different category of storms, and you see up to last year I think it was when we had one coming directly to us and then it shift and then they just go all over the place and they're so unpredictable. So my other question to you, what does SKELEC do to prepare for the hurricane season, both for the company itself and for our customers, our clients?
Okay. So let us start from the customer perspective. So SKELEC's responsibility is to provide reliable electricity service. And when we say reliable, we like to throw cost efficient as much as possible and as high quality as much as possible. So the core of our efforts, of course, is our ongoing maintenance programs. We try to maintain and build out a system and an electricity service that is reliable, as highly reliable as possible, and term we'll use is resilient to to the impacts of a hurricane, a natural disaster. Resilient means it'll take some licks, it'll stand up. When it fails, it's going to fail gracefully. So if something does happen, we won't have an island-wide blackout, a little area will go off. All of those are in the ideas of preparing the system to serve our customers during a natural disaster. If you want to get down to specific activities now, one of the major activities we do is tree and line clearing. Specific activity geared towards the hurricane season, because trees, vegetation can impact the system very much, cause a lot of outages during hurricanes. You have winds, you have rains, and while trees and shrubs and vines and the lines are always a concern during hurricane season, wet and stormy periods, it's a particular concern. It causes faults. So we have teams that will go out annually throughout the year, but particularly during the hurricane season, and make sure the lines are clear of trees, vegetation is off the lines, and it also allows us an opportunity to inspect the network as well, to inform our maintenance.
And to possibly do some upgrades and those kind of stuff
those
as well.
kind of works where we have to inspect and then recognize that there's a problem. So those are the major efforts in terms of the customer. What we're doing, we're maintaining our system, and we're also clearing and cleaning and making sure the lines are free of vegetation for hurricane season. We speak about, we don't want trees falling on the lines if they fall down. We don't want, when the wind is lashing, a branch is lashing the line and your lines are bouncing up and down. In terms of the company internally, as you are aware, but I'll share with our customers, we have a hurricane preparation and response plan, actually a disaster preparation and response plan, which outlines the various steps the company goes throughout the year at different periods in preparation for the hurricane season. So we're in good standing when the hurricanes do arrive, though we wish they do not arrive. And also it outlines how we are organized and how we are responding pre-hurricane, when different stages preceding an actual strike, and post. It outlines how we respond, order of restoration, the resources we need to have on hand, etc., etc. So that's it in a nutshell. But I'd also like to mention one thing. The company, similarly to other electric utilities in the Caribbean, is a member of the regional body for utilities, SKELEC, Caribbean Electricity. Don't quote me on the meaning of the term. Caribbean Electricity Corporation. Let's go with that. And so another aspect of our preparation, the Caribbean utilities together jointly respond to disasters. So you said last year, for example, we would not have had a major direct strike, but generally speaking, somewhere in the Caribbean each year, some island and some utility is affected by a hurricane.
That is so true.
So part of our preparation as a member of SKELEC is to make sure our teams are prepared to also lend assistance to other islands. In the same way, if we receive a strike, other islands are preparing to assist us. Typically, the damage from a hurricane strike is a major hurricane strike, a class 4, a class 5, is significant enough that any, particularly for the case of small island utilities like ours, your local resources will not be enough to restore power in a reasonable time. The time you wish to restore power to get economic activity and security and all these things back up, you want it as quickly as possible. So all the Caribbean utilities prepare. We had a joint training for what you call the SKELEC Reserve Lineman Corps recently, and that is so that we have a group of our technicians and leadership that will lend assistance to other islands as well. So that forms part of our preparation also.
So SKELEC is doing big things. We're having training for SKELEC.
Of course.
SKELEC, sorry. So that means SKELEC is a part of a bit of regional integration where we have our men going out, because I think in the past years they have traveled to different islands to help with restoration, and you know, we are part of one Caribbean, so we are brothers and sisters, so we lend a helping hand.
I recall as recently as Hurricane Irma and Maria, I think it was Maria, I believe it was a team of 6 5 or 6 from SKELEC and 5 or 6 from NEVLEC that jointly travel to assist in Anguilla.
That's nice.
I think so.
That's a good
And
experience.
LUCELEC also, during that same period for Irma, LUCELEC lent SKELEC assistance.
That's really nice. So, as we move on, what are some hurricane preparation tips for our residential and commercial customers?
Okay, so for residential customers, the first one I'm going to, and these are tips beyond general hurricane preparation, which is have your supplies, know where your shelter is. If you have any concerns about the integrity of your structure, prep your roof and such. But as far as SKELEC and what we ask customers to assist us and be in preparation as far as electricity, first and foremost, keeping their lines, their trees in your home and on your property clear of SKELEC lines. While we do have a year-round tree cutting and vegetation management program, it helps us. It helps us to reduce our costs if customers manage their own trees. Do not wait till it gets close to the line where it's a hazard and then SKELEC has to intervene. Prune it when you see it starting to grow towards the lines, and that will reduce our workload and of course make the overall system more resilient when we do have storms or any hurricanes or any storm type weather. Other than that, generally we stress all the principal safety. Know where your safety measures, know where your main switch is in case something happens during the storm. You're having low voltage, you can turn it off. If you have water in your home, you might also need to turn off the power depending on where the water is and if it's affecting electrical appliances or electrical equipments and circuits in your house. And if any other hazards pre-storms in hurricane season, your service wire sometimes sparks, anything of that nature, report it and we'll address it. But generally those are our concerns during a storm. You see a hazard, a sparking wire, our expectation is if you are able to, report it to SKELEC, and if you are able to, and whatever you're noticing is affecting your home, turn off your main switch. Those are the 2 basic responses we are asking from our customers.
Well, I would like to add that our customers are our eyes and ears because we don't see everything, and we will expect our customers to just please call. If you see a SKELEC worker, stop them, say, "Sir, ma'am, I see this wire falling down this place, I see this leaning this place," anything at all, please call us. We'll be sure to come on out and address the matter because we want to continue improving our equipment, especially at this time in our hurricane season. So in the event we have to take off the power or anything, the restoration work can be easier and it will be done in a faster time. So Mr. Brown, can you tell me, why is it important to know where and how to shut off your home or business electricity?
For your safety, and I'd make this point humorously but very seriously. It is as important for SKELEC to know when and where to turn off the electricity. Sorry, it's as important for the customer to know as it is for SKELEC to know, because when there is an electrical fault, a hazard, something is burning, something has exploded, first step to making it safe to go and investigate, or even safe so that no further damage is caused, is to turn off the electricity. So customers should know where their electrical distribution panel is or their main switch is in their home or on their premises, so that I smell smoke, I see fire coming from behind my fridge, the lights flickering funny, my TV making noises. First response we ask, if you know where it is and you can do so safely, turn off your main switch. Second response we ask, report it to SKELEC. And for the public's awareness, there are situations where, let's say, a fault is affecting a community. Yes, we expect you to turn off your main switch, but if it's affecting a broad enough area, we will turn off the power to the entire area. So in the same way, what we ask our customers to do it's the same response SKELEC has to problems. Everyone in Pine Garden, I don't want to pick on Pine Garden, say all their lights flickering, we'll stay at the power station at the control room and turn off all the lights to Pine Garden until we can figure it out.
And until it's safe to do so, to restore the current as well.
As well, until we have identified the problem, repaired it, and then we restore power.
Okay. So
Similarly in the customer's home, identify the problem, repair it, and then get it repaired, get it identified
electrician.
by your competent electrician, get it identified, get it repaired, then put back on the power. Don't wait 30 minutes after the smoke gone out and let me turn it back on and see if it smokes again.
So moving on, based on the location of some of our infrastructure, why may it be difficult during a storm to reach these areas? Because as any normal individual, if you see a current and gone, you start to be like, when current gonna come back, I got this to do, I got that to do, because we only realize something is important until it's gone. And we just wanted to discuss about restoration, because sometimes our customers may be like, when current gonna come back, and when this, I want to this, I want to that, everything. And we know current is important to anybody, because we need current for a lot of things.
That Wi-Fi.
Yes, even as so simple as water, we need electricity to have your water
supply. Yes.
So, Mr. Brown, just enlighten our customers on a bit of based on the location of our infrastructure, why may it be difficult during a storm to reach these areas?
So the critical factor here, why during a storm we can't be as responsive as normally, the safety of our teams. For those not familiar, the protocol that NEMA has, there's a certain period, the term is slipping me, it's not coming to mind at this point, where at a certain point all non-essential services only essential services are allowed on the road. It's almost a curfew, so to speak. My good friend Miss Stevens at NEMA is probably saying, Colin, you should remember the term. But there's a point at which, so to speak, the island goes into lockdown, and that also applies to SKELEC. So while we do keep the power running, we have limited operations during the passage of the storm, unless it's a life or death situation, where similarly we may respond in coordination with the army or the defense force or fire or police, unless it's one of those life or death situations where we're going to risk life to go out in the storm to address something. The normal response is suspended during the storm. After NEMA gives the all clear after the passage of the storm, that is when the restoration effort commences. We go out, we scout, we see the damage, and we start planning. So during the passage of the storm, as much as possible, we make every effort to maintain the supply. Something happens in a certain area, a fault, poles go over trees and lines, what have you, poles get washed out. We will, as much as possible, isolate just that area and maintain power to everyone else throughout the duration of the storm as much as possible. But as far as going out to respond to a call during the passage of the storm, anytime before NEMA gives the all clear, we do not do that unless it's a life or death situation as directed by NEMA. As you may imagine, I mean, we have infrastructure in some very places that are challenging to get to under normal circumstances, so we just that more hazardous sometimes to try to get to it in a storm situation.
Okay, so we're going to open the lines. Do we have any callers at this time? Good morning, caller.
Yes, a pleasant good morning to all. I got a concern, and my concern is I make some report and I not see nobody turn up as yet. Okay, that's one. Next one, with the trees and so, you got some trees in my area, one abandoned yard and some people live. But what happened now, SKELEC come and put a post. They're supposed to monitor where they put in post, isn't it? They put the post and then we run the wire through two trees and then I come back and cut down the trees. That can't be right. Then the owner for the house now, they put the wires over the house. So anything bust now in Japanese house, it burn on the house. Which is supposed to tell the lady, get an electrician and bring the wire them around, because they move the wire them from one area to some trees. Now they bring them back and me say now to some trees again. 2 trees, a mango tree and a jelly tree. That can't be right. You know, so that's really important. So when you come, you go ask for Mapo, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. And the post by me, nobody come check it. The wires what I talk about was small to people, nobody come check nothing. And this is how hurricane coming on, and nobody come check nothing.
Caller, before you go, we'll ask GQ to take your name and your number off here, and then we'll be sure to respond to you, caller. Thank you for calling.
GQ know everything about me whole life, so me not go call GQ.
All right, brother. Blessed love, man. I got
Thank you, caller.
I got you. And I hate to interrupt now, but we have to use these same cameras to go to the press cabinet press conference.
Understood.
So we'll have to wrap it up now. So to all our listeners listening, we do apologize for interrupting the program. And we thank you for paying attention, and we thank you for your calls that are coming in right now. But we do have to wrap it up. So I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, what I'll advise our callers that would like to call in, please visit our Facebook page, our SKELEC Facebook page, and please, you can send us a message if you have any concerns about any tree trimming, anything at all that you feel we need to respond to, or call our emergency line 465-2013 or 600 for mobile, or you can visit our customer service department. Thank you, caller, for calling, and we'll be sure to respond to you. Do have a great day.